Hi folks, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. Today we're going to talk about a 2004 Fleetwood Bounder. The Fleetwood Bounder has some great stories. It's one of the most iconic motorhomes in our industry. It really revolutionized some things. It was one of those RVs that pushed the envelope back in the day. Came out in the mid 80s, I believe 1985 if I'm not mistaken, and was the brainchild of John Crean who owned Fleetwood. So for about 10-12 years running, the Bounder was the best-selling motorhome on the planet, and we'll talk more about that once we get inside and I can talk a little easier. There's a lot of noises out here with the service department and everything, so I try to do the outsides pretty quickly. This is pretty much standard Bounder colors. You had the browns, the tans, sometimes they have a kangaroo on them, sometimes they don't, but this is pretty standard Bounder colors that you're seeing here. This just came in, we haven't run it through cleanup or anything yet, but it is in really good shape. A lot of times people are looking for that first time Class A. It has a slide out or two on it, this particular one has two, and really won't break the bank. This is a good motorhome for you in that regard. All Bounders are kind of designed for longer term living. If you want to go be a snowbird or be a full-timer in it, you can do it in a Bounder. So we'll take a look around here. On the outside quickly, you're going to find lots of storage compartments like these. The Bounder invented basement storage in RVs. That was one of the things that pushed the envelope. They were the first ones to really put a true basement where you raise the coach up off the frame from Ford or Chevy, as it may have been back in the day. And this is actually a workhorse, so it's on a Chevy platform. But to raise the box up off of the chassis and create really big sizable storage. Now you're going to see compartments like this all the way around, and we'll go around and show you that. This particular one, you can see it comes with tire and wheel covers and with an RV cover in there. So there's a $400 or $500 cover right there. 35R is our model number on this particular Bounder. We do have a 10-gallon gas and electric water heater. We have a metal wrapped awning, so when you're driving through that campground and you snag a tree branch, if it's the metal wrapped awning, it won't snag it. It's protected behind the metal wrap there. You can see you have storage compartments like the one I opened all the way around this. Come on around. We have a nice one-piece molded fiberglass cap on the back. It's not just your plain flat back. Your tail lights are mounted high so they can be seen up and over a toad if need be. Your water tank access is actually through here, and a spare tire on a Class A motorhome. That's a rare thing. You don't see that very often. We actually have the 5500 Marquee Gold Onan generator. Now, they made a few different series of Onan generators back in this day, and it was real easy to tell because they made the green ones and the black ones, and the black ones were the better ones. The 5500 Gold series has onboard diagnostics on it, so if the generator, if something does happen to it, it'll actually throw a code just like your car throws a code, and help the technician, or you if you're handy, diagnose it. So it'll say, hey, I need a fuel pump, and you go buy a fuel pump and put a fuel pump in. So it's nice to have some diagnostics there. Come forward here. This was a really neat thing that Fleetwood did back in the day. They called this Easy Store. And what it is was your storage compartments. On most motorhomes, you would have to crawl under this slide out right here to get back into your storage boxes that are way back there. You don't have that problem with this. Your storage boxes actually come out with the slide out and give you some remarkable storage. Now this is fiberglass, so that's never going to rust out in there. You can see it needs a little bit of a cleaning. We just brought it in, like I said. But that's an insulated compartment. We have low-flying aircraft, so I apologize for that. Anytime you try to do one of these videos, stuff just starts happening that's unpredictable. So forgive the extra noise. A lot of times I had people tell me, well, you know, you want pass-through storage like this. Well, listen, the motorhome's 8 feet long. So the longest item you could have would be about 8 feet going through if you have pass-through like this. This is a 12-foot long slide box. So you can fit something much longer in here, and it even has a little access panel down there on that end where you can slide it straight in. So it's actually better than pass-through storage because number one, it's longer. Number two, it's accessible. So, all right. Yep, didn't get that one shot. There we go. All right, let's go on. I know what we really want to see on these motorhomes is the inside. So without further ado, let's go inside. Okay, we are inside the 2004 Bounder. It's in really good shape, it really is. Now, with Bounders came brown interiors, so if you absolutely positively hate brown, it's probably in the right motorhome for you, because there's a lot of it in here. If brown's okay, then this may very well be the right motorhome for you, because it's a really nice motorhome. It only has 43,000 miles on it. I think it's 42.9, so really low miles. And as I said, Bounders are kind of meant for long term. We're clean and dry, no leaks in this motorhome. We have a sofa that has our actual residential hide-a-bed in it. We have a booth dinette that will fold into sleeping as well, so we do have some extra sleeping here. A nice recliner chair here with a built-in table. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a table back there as well that you can pull up. And of course, your driver passenger seats will spin around and become part of the living area as well. I try to point out the good and the bad. I did notice when I was pulling this around, we got a little bit of a hole in the leather right there. I think that could probably be taken care of by one of the vinyl guys. I'm not sure. We're going to look into that. This is on a workhorse chassis, so we have a Chevy 8.1 liter V8 engine in it. That's a big power plant. It's also married to a Allison transmission on this particular motorhome, which, you know, the thing with Allison transmissions is they're just pretty much indestructible. This does have a 4-point leveling system on it as well, so leveling jacks, and they're powered. Power and heated mirrors, you can kind of see that control over there as well as a well-located cup holder there. A couple more cup holders in the center console. Over here on the right-hand side, you have another cup holder, and I love this. Nice little pull-out tray here, and notice there's some power outlets down there to plug in either 12-volt items or 110-volt items down there. So we'll talk about that a little bit. With Bounders comes the Bounder story. I used to sell these when they were brand new, so some of it still resides up in there. Fleetwood was created by John Crean, or the Bounder, rather, was created by John Crean. John Crean did something that kind of made a lot of sense, but I don't know that anybody else in the mid-'80s had ever done it, which was he decided that he and the wife were going out and they were going to spend a year on the road and get to know RVers, get to know RVing, and see what they could do to improve their product. And that was kind of, the Bounder was born out of that year-long journey that they took. They discovered a lot of things. First of all, the number one thing that pretty much everybody in the campground talked about was they want more storage. Well, that's where I mentioned on the outside of the coach, we have basement storage on this, and this was the first basement coach. That's where that came from. That's where that brainchild came from, in giving you all that extra storage on the underneath side. So kind of everybody in the industry has copied Bounder in some fashion there. Things that make the motorhome more livable. Bounders have dual pane windows in them. Dual pane windows in a gas coach were unheard of back in the day, and they were standard feature on Bounder when I started selling them. I don't know when the first one came out with dual panes was, but they've been a standard feature on them since the mid-2000s anyway, and this was a 2004 motorhome. So that was a really nice feature. You always have some sort of a little coffee table or sofa table behind when you're in a Bounder. This one has an end table right down here. They noticed that a lot of the motorhomes that were being designed back in the day actually didn't have a place to set a drink when you sat on the sofa. So that was one of the big things that came out. We talked about this table and the power outlets and everything up here. Here's where that came from. When John would be driving the motorhome, Mrs. Crean, her name escapes me, I apologize to the Crean family. Mrs. Crean would sit back here and sew. She liked to sew. So she had a sewing machine running at the booth. The reason she did it at the booth is because it was a nice flat workspace and it had power. And there's an outlet down there. Well, John said, wouldn't it be nice if we could kind of, sit together up here? So the first Bounders that came out just had the really flat dashboard and the power outlet up there that runs, of course, whenever your generator's running. As time has evolved, we start thinking laptops and tablets and lunch and that type of thing, so they do the pull-out trays like this. But and this pulls out as well, so there's actually really nice storage in there. So this all came about later, but the big flat dash was part of the original Bounder design. So some other things with Bounders, they have excellent storage on the inside as well, because again, that's one of the things that all RVers want. Adjustable shelves, good storage spaces, dual sink. This one has solid surface countertops with a solid surface sink cover as well. A little bunch of slots back here where you can put your sharp knives where they're out of reach of small hands. You have the oven and the microwave, and this is the bigger oven. They make two different size RV ovens. This is the bigger one. I'm not saying you're cooking a turkey in there, but maybe a full-size chicken. come back here. This is all bounders came prepped for the washer dryer. This particular one has the washer dryer unit in it. All right. 4-door refrigerator, not your standard 2-door. That's what everybody was using at this point was the 2-door. They came out with bigger refrigerators. Kind of comes back to the more storage thing. This has an ice maker in it as well. This is really tight, so you're gonna have to take my word for it. But we do have the 4-door fridge here. You saw the sofa and the booth up front are on one slide out. We have the second slide back here. We'll get the bathroom in the video first though. There we go. It's an all-in-one bathroom with a corner shower. All right, now let me show you what makes this a great floor plan. Back in '04, single slides were kind of becoming a standard feature. Double slides were optional, and triple slides really were very, very, very uncommon at that point. This is a double slide motorhome. But what they did that made this difference, generally speaking, you would have the one big slide like we have up front on this one where the sofa and the booth was on it, and then back in the back, just the bed slid. Okay, and that was kind of standard. It's just the way things were. Well, this particular floor plan improved upon that idea because they made the bed and this closet is all one slide unit, so it's a bigger slide. What it does is it creates this big area here where when I step out of the bathroom or I get out of bed, or I've got a place to put on my shoes, I've got a place to actually get dressed. Usually this closet would be way up here and we'd be scrunched in here like this. This is a lot of room. I mean, I'm a big guy and you know, there's room here. Not to mention you got a great closet out of the deal. So that's a huge wardrobe, drawers below. All right, back here we have a walk around queen bed. Okay. Now you can maybe hear our generator's actually running right now. I can barely hear it, but this motorhome's pretty quiet, and the generator's like right under me right now, so it's still pretty quiet. We got a second wardrobe here, so you can see when I said they're built for full timing, they've got the storage to prove it. About the only thing I really see on here that I might change, if this were my motorhome, I might start upgrading some light bulbs to LEDs. It'd be a little brighter in here, and I would certainly. We got tube TVs in here still, so that's just a sign of the times. Those are nice, easy fixes for somebody to do. Other than that, this motorhome's ready to go. On our used units, we're going to make sure all the systems and appliances are in good working order. I think I said that already, but I'll reiterate it. You know, your heating system, your cooling system, all of your kitchen appliances, your water system, your propane system, your awning, your jacks, your generator, it's all going to be in good working order. The RV is going to be cleaned inside and out. We have a technician that teaches you how to use everything and shows you that all the systems and appliances are in good working order, and you're going to leave here happy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Chris Anderson. Please don't forget to ask for me. I look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.